They look at the pitch and see a battle of egos. They see 22 millionaires fueled by adrenaline, genuinely believing they dictate the outcome of the event. They think their talent, their physical dominance, or their fame gives them sovereignty over the grass. It is a fundamental delusion. The moment they cross that white line, their social status and their wealth cease to exist. They enter a strict jurisdiction where the only valid currency is absolute compliance. I am not a player. I am not a fan. I am the clinical embodiment of the system. I am the law. People constantly analyze my physical appearance. They talk about the eyes, the lack of hair, the physical intimidation. They attempt to build a mythology around me, using theatrical words to describe my presence. It is much simpler and much more clinical than that. Alopecia stripped away my hair, but it also stripped away the biological distractions of my humanity. It left me with a visage that does not betray micro-expressions. When a highly agitated player looks at me, they do not see a man they can emotionally manipulate. They see a mirror reflecting their own lack of discipline. My stare is not a threat. It is a psychological baseline. It silently communicates a single fact. I see exactly what you are attempting to do. Authority is never naturally given. It is systematically established and ruthlessly enforced. You cannot politely ask for respect from an athlete whose heart rate is operating at 180 beats per minute. You have to establish dominance neurologically. When a player sprints toward me, screaming, aggressively trying to impose his physical mass, he is testing the structural integrity of the system. If I take a single step back, the system crumbles. If I raise my voice to match his frequency, I validate his chaos. Instead, I step forward. I invade his personal space. I widen my eyes, maximizing my field of vision, and I establish absolute, unbreakable eye contact. I drain the oxygen from his rebellion. I do not need to shout. A clinical whisper, delivered with absolute, unwavering certainty, is far more devastating than a roar. It forces his brain to recognize that his aggression is entirely useless against an immovable object. The referee is the most psychologically isolated entity in the stadium. The players have the camaraderie of their teammates. The managers have the support of their staff. The fans have the collective hysteria of the crowd. I have no one. If I execute the correct decision, I am completely ignored. If I make a statistical error, I am crucified by millions. It is a profession built on a permanent foundation of guaranteed animosity. To survive this, you must possess a clinical level of detachment. I do not seek their approval. I do not desire to be liked by anyone on that pitch. The human need for affection or validation is a severe psychological vulnerability, and athletes are trained to exploit vulnerabilities immediately. I excised that human need from my brain completely. My psychological satisfaction comes strictly from the flawless execution of order amidst pure chaos. Control is never improvised. It is the result of obsessive, meticulous preparation. Days before the whistle blows, I analyze the tactical formations. I study the psychological profiles of every individual player. I identify the instigators. I know who attempts to deceive, who possesses a volatile temper, and who structurally crumbles under high-pressure scenarios. Before the match even begins, I have already simulated their infractions in my mind. When the incident occurs in real time, I am not reacting to a surprise. I am simply confirming a pre-calculated hypothesis. True authority is always one cognitive step ahead of the rebellion. They believe power is scoring the winning goal in a final. They believe power is lifting a golden trophy as thousands chant their name. They are deeply mistaken. True power is the ability to halt the entire world with a single controlled breath into a piece of plastic. True power is standing alone between two opposing forces of pure, concentrated aggression and forcing them to submit to an invisible set of rules. I do not play the game. I permit the game to exist. If you want to master your environment, you must stop trying to be the most talented individual in the room. You must become the architecture of the room itself. Excise your need for approval. Command the chaos. Enforce the order.